Adam Mockler, Michael Knowles. Let's dive into it.
Let me talk.
Most of the illegals are asylum seekers or they economic.
Wait, no, wait. Look at what you said.
I want.
First.
Okay, the big beautiful bill is the ugliest piece of legislation written for the American people.
True.
Okay, Adam.
Trump is putting Russia first before America first when it comes to the Ukraine war. He's putting Russia first. Yep.
Okay.
Nope. You guys can boo all you want. It's true.
Okay.
Yep.
My topic is the only problem with Trump's deportations is we need more of them.
I just don't see the point of like a format like this. Like these people are here to get drunk and be belligerent. So I don't know. Maybe all exposure is good exposure. It's really a touchy thing because you would assume political dialogue is supposed to be productive and meaningful and here to help the American people, but it seems like it's more of a game nowadays, or actually probably for a while now.
This feels a little bit skewed. It seems a little bit all done. I thought Nashville was a blue city. I don't know. The whole country's turned red, though. Mr. Davies, who won?
Looks like the people want more deportations.
They want more deportations.
Let's hear it, Michael.
All right. The deportations have been great thus far. We've gotten rid of lots of criminals. We've gotten rid of lots of face-tattooed, Satan-worshipping gangsters. I think it's all really good. We have cut crossings over the border down to basically nothing. In May, it was literally nothing, not one man apprehended. Historic lows since then. So that's all been great. Self-deportations have been even.
So I've already kind of like debunked the whole notion of like how people perceive illegal immigration. Like I've already debunked that on the podcast several different times. No way the Chiefs returner just fumbled. No way the Chiefs returner just fumbled. Okay, they said he was down. Okay, good. So this idea that they've deported like a bunch of criminals and it's just not true. It's just not reality. But
better. 2.1 million immigrants have deported foreign-born in just the last 7 months. 1.6 million of them illegal. That's 10% probably of the illegal alien average. The only problem is if we want to improve our crime statistics, if we want to improve safety, and if we want to improve drains on our public welfare systems, we need to deport more. No, you say.
It's just Michael Knowles is. I genuinely think Michael Knowles is an evil person, regardless of how likable the smile looks. He's just a terrible person. You know, if he wants to believe in Christianity, he's more like Satan than Jesus. I'll just let it see how it manifests, and we'll kind of dive into a little bit more details depending on how Adam responds. I'm gonna grade Adam and see if he knows exactly the proper response technique.
You know why?
Am I kind of start?
I'll go.
I say ladies first.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
go. Okay, so here's the thing with the deportations is that you look at it through three different lenses. The first lens you could look at it through is the money lens, right? The billionaire lens, where they pay.
Cicely Ray. I don't know who this is, so I'm actually curious to look her up. Yeah, I give up. Go ahead.
In taxes, while Tesla and Amazon pay zero. So we're going to toss out 89 billion. But we don't know what, and then the second lens you could look at it through is, they're all criminals. But in reality, a study done by the Justice Department in 2021 showed us that American-born citizens are 10 times more likely to be incarcerated for a weapons charge, 5 times more likely for violent crime, 2 times more likely for drug offenses, and 2 times more likely for property crime over documented and undocumented immigrants. And it's because when they come here, they have more to lose than we do. I'd rather have people here that are willing to cross thousands of miles with just the clothes on their back because they really want to be here. And we've seen our GDP has crashed into the negative. All these farm jobs that you guys all say, I'm going to go, they took our job. They're empty. Why is no one taking them? What's going on?
Okay, Adam, do you agree?
Okay. That was actually a pretty good rebuttal. She's correct in everything she's characterizing. And it's very important to note that when it comes to illegal immigrants, they're being good stuff, Travis. First down. They're just being used as a scapegoat. Everything when it comes down to how they characterize illegal immigrants is just like fear tactics, propaganda. everybody who's noted or has a criminal record, they're not allowed in the United States and they're deported. That's always been the case under the Biden administration and under Obama's administration. The people who do come here are oftentimes in the system waiting for the system to kind of put in place whether or not they can get accepted to the asylum process, or maybe they're in TEP status, or maybe they're a kid from an immigrant for using DACA. But
I have my own framing that I want to
You did a
approach
good
this
job.
with. Do you want to respond or can I go?
Sure. So you mentioned that the non-illegals, the citizens, commit far higher crime. That's a little strange because when you look at the federal docket for just 2024, almost 1/3 of cases on the federal docket are non-citizens. That's much, much higher than their share of the population, which is in the
I'm trying to look up this. I'm going to keep playing while I look up the data.
single digits. Probably about 5% for illegal aliens alone. Then if you look at the prison population, BOP, 15% of
The prison population is not indicative of whether or not they're committing a crime. Illegal immigrants are more likely to kind of get put in prison for lower level crimes than pure-blooded American, though. Crimeinamerica.net. There's so many of these sources I just don't trust because MAGA's so dishonest. I would be willing to go to like an FBI source. Is there an FBI source? Usually those are pretty reliable. So I found this. The National Institute of Justice, Advancing Justice Through Science. Analysis of Texas arrest record indicate a consistent trend across violent drug, property, and track offenses between 2012 and 2018. NG-funded study examining data from the Texas Department of Public Safety estimated that rate at which document arrested for committing crimes are arrested at less than half the rate of native-born U.S. citizens for violent drug crimes and a quarter of the rate of native-born citizens for property crimes. Commit crimes is not easy to answer. Most research has been unable to differentiate and document immigrants from documenting. It's a uniform group as well there. You're saying that these data enabled research to separate arrests for crimes committed by. Okay, what does the chart show? So, overall offending rates by citizenship documented status. It's interesting. Arrest rates. So the documented, and obviously it makes sense that undocumented is so much lower because they have more to lose if they get in trouble. If they get in trouble, they have risk for deportation. Violent crime offending rates. That's why, again, way lower than the citizen. Interesting, the documented immigrant was like, and they've just been slowly going down because of probably the negative perception of criminals. So, as you guys could see from this article clearly shows that what was stated, and this is an article from a study from a Texas National Institute of Justice. So, I mean, not much to be said there. Michael Knowles said something about. Let me share it.
cases on the federal docket are non-citizens. That's much, much higher than their share of the population.
Y'all, what's going on?
Okay, Adam, do you agree?
I have my own framing that I want to approach this with. Do you want to respond or can I go?
Sure. So you mentioned that the non-illegals, the citizens, commit far higher crime. That's a little strange because when you look at the federal docket for just 2024, almost 1/3 of cases on the federal docket are non-citizens. That's much, much higher.
Almost 1/3 of the federal docket are non-citizens. Is that a rate or a total number? I mean, even if it's a percentage.
Than their share of the population. For almost 1/3 of cases on the federal docket are non-citizens. That's much, much higher than their share of the population, which is in the single digits. Probably about 5%.
Okay. Total crime rate in 2024. Illegal immigrants versus U.S. citizen percentage. This is another article debunking this claim, but are debunking the whole notion that immigrants are causing all the crime. I'm just trying to see the total number Because Michael Knowles, so the claim he's trying to make the claim that when it comes to total crime that happens in the United States, a small percentage of the population attributes to 1/3 of the total crime in the United States. I don't believe that's true. So I'm trying to find that data set. He says something about it in the federal docket for 2024, and I just don't believe what he's saying. And I can't find anything that proves it. I mean, MAGA is known to just lie to make a point. They're very dishonest people. So that's why I'm trying to find this information. 2024 federal docket crime statistics. I think this might be what I need. 3 minutes left. Once the Chiefs score, the game is over. Let's go Chiefs. This is crime based off the violence. Does it? Okay, immigrant is not part of this data set. Okay. Arson about this data. I don't know. I can't find this docket that he's referring to. I don't know if it exists. No, this is 2023. Now we're kind of just. All right. Well, basically, I found multiple pieces of information that suggest that illegal immigrants commit way less crime, percentage-wise, by rate. So this is not based off total population. They just commit way less crime based off the rate based off population. Per 100,000 of persons. So they just do not commit as much violent offenses. There's multiple articles indicating this information. Here's two of them. Like American Immigration Council. And this is made in October 2024. The fact sheet talking about immigration and how immigration has risen, crime has fallen. It's not immigrants' fault. Areas where immigrants have less crime. And then this data set that I showed you before, the National Institute of Justice, indicates the same thing. So I'm able to find this information pretty quickly. The information that Knowles is referring to, I think he's making that up personally. I just think he's making that up. So let's continue. Oh, I took that thing off. Let's continue.
Percent for illegal aliens alone. Then, if you look at the prison population, BOP, 15% of inmates are non-citizens, much higher than their share of the population, which is 4%.
So they do not do the majority of the crime, and they're changing the argument. You're acting like they are causing all this crime, which they are not. So they aren't. They're doing way less. And the amount of people in prison are also when it comes down to being put in prisons, they're getting put in prison just to be put in prison. A lot of them have no criminal offenses in their record. I can prove that too. I think it's important. I know MAGA doesn't care about statistics, but grants in prison with no criminal record. I think the majority of them nowadays. Yeah, right here. Immigrants with no criminal record, now the majority U.S. immigration detention. So it's like Michael Knowles made that claim about, you're locking everybody up regardless if they did a crime or not. So again, Knowles is dishonest. Knowles is not a good person. So according to the official data, there are currently a total of 59,000 people in ICE detention across the U.S. Of that number. 15,000 individuals face pending criminal charges, while 17,000 have been convicted of a crime. The largest group made up of 27,000 individuals have neither a criminal conviction nor any pending charges. So, yeah, Michael Knowles is dishonest, and A terrible person.
Then, if you look at just the costs to the cities, I can go to New York, my old hometown. The New York comptroller showed that they were spending $1.5 billion in 2023 on the illegal aliens who were there. That number doubled the following year, 2024, to $3 billion. It's over $3 billion.
So his first claim about the illegal immigrants costing or doing 1/3 of the crime cannot be verified. If someone knows a statistic, please let me know in the comments. That can't be verified. He's probably lying about that. The second claim about the prison thing is, what do you want to call it? It's like a half truth because it's removing the context of like people just being thrown in jail with no criminal convictions at all. So again, very dishonest Knowles is being. And now he's trying to allude to the claim and appeal to the tax dollar argument where he's saying that, oh, yeah, these states are spending money on illegal immigrants and helping them. How dare they spend any money to help them? They're illegal immigrants. So, I mean, that's kind of the most effective strategy to appeal to the average American, regardless. But regardless of like these people who are suffering, regardless of their kids, their families who are trying to escape terrible things that's going on in their country, regardless if they are been human trafficked here or kidnapped and brought here. It doesn't matter like what you've been through. Tax dollars going to you matters more than your well-being as a human. And Michael Knowles is a Christian. He's supposed to care about love thy neighbor. He doesn't give a shit about that. He's a fake Christian. He only cares about true Christians. Like he's the evil Christians that Jesus Christ was not advocating for with him and his apostles. He probably would have been Judas. He probably would have crucified Jesus Christ as well.
This year. So when you say this is a net positive for the economy, they're contributing so much more than the billionaires. When you say they're no good for crime, I don't know. I look at the numbers out of New York. I look at the numbers out of the CBO. I look at the numbers out of the National Academies of Science, and I say they're all contradicting you.
No, he lied about every single thing he just said. The numbers indicate that the economy has improved. The numbers indicate that illegal immigrants and immigration in the United States, a lot of areas where there's a lot of immigrants, crime rates have fallen. The numbers actually back her up. You're just lying and just misutilizing the data to fit a narrative because you are bad faith. So, I mean, all right.
Your study, I don't ever trust your statistics.
Can I hop in real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach when it comes to this. I want to start off with the fundamental idea. Everybody in here agrees that if somebody is here illegally and they commit crimes, get them the out of here, right?
Yes.
Get them the hell out of here.
Yeah.
If somebody is here, listen.
Yeah, did you just hear?
No, not all of them.
No,
not all of them.
You said if they're here.
Michael,
Not all of them.
Michael, is there a difference between a civil and a criminal violation?
Well,
Wait, is crossing the border illegally a civil or a criminal violation?
It depends on the case, but it can be a civil violation.
It can be a civil violation, so
if
it's not inherently illegal. So can I just...
It can be a
Okay,
civil
so let's all start off with the fundamental idea
But
that
it's still
somebody
illegal.
is
It's
here
still illegal.
illegally... No, it's not. It is a civil violation.
Oh, Adam, this is very smart. This is a very effective tactic. What he's doing is he's trying to make a very clear distinction of illegal immigrants who are criminals who are deported from that are normally deported from both the Biden administration and Obama's administration. That's fine. Let's make that distinction. And then he's talking about the people who came here illegally, whether or not, and usually those are people in the system that we're talking about, who are actually people waiting for the asylum process, who've been kind of have a book date. Sometimes they skip out on their day, and that's not okay, but they're still in our system, and they just haven't gotten officialized on whether or not they are here to stay or get deported. Those are people in limbo. Most of the illegal immigrants we're talking about are people in limbo or kids, people who've been trafficked here. Those are people that we're probably referring to when it comes to illegal immigrants. People who have just came here, which doesn't happen often, but people who came here unvetted and nobody knows who they are, those people aren't in the system. We have no idea who those people are. And that's just something you can never truly 100% solve for unless you want to create the Great Wall of China, I guess, and have people 24/7 across the border. I don't think we need that. We don't have like freaking what are they called? What are they called? Why do I keep on thinking Hassans? It's the you guys know what I'm talking about. Who the people, the Mongol, the people who are trying to invade China. You guys know what I'm talking about.
It's not a criminal.
What is illegal?
Criminals.
What is illegal?
No, they
Refers
just called
to
them
the law.
criminals. Okay, so let me just get into this. I can start with the fundamental idea that if somebody's here illegally,
If we're talking about civil law and breaking civil law, then Donald Trump is a criminal and done things and is legal, does things that are illegal, which Knowles will never admit because he's bad faith.
and they commit crimes, they should be sent to another country's prison. And I'm a libtard. By all standards, I'm a libtard, and I believe that. But that is not what the Trump administration is prioritizing. They have reallocated funds meant for the deportation of criminals towards the deportation of farm workers, the deportation of people going to the courthouse. Trump made a True Social post. Listen, Trump made a True Social post where he said, all the great farmers of Iowa just called me and said, I'm deporting too many of them. Did that happen? Did he make that True Social post?
Yeah, unfortunately, he stopped deporting them, but he should have continued deporting them.
Your issue right here is that you always say liberals are taking these 80-20 positions, and you're not quite there, but you're getting closer to the 80-20 position than we are. 70% of Americans want a legal pathway for people who are here, contributing to the country, and what Donald Trump is doing, one more point, what Donald Trump is doing is criminalizing asylum en masse and prioritizing the deportation of farm workers and other people.
Adam, most of the illegals are asylum seekers or are they economic migrants?
Wait, listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
Most of the illegals are asylum seekers. Asylum seeking is not illegal,
No,
Michael.
it's not.
Is
No,
asylum
that's
seeking
what I'm
illegal?
asking.
That's a pathway.
Oh, sorry then.
The people that we call illegal aliens, non-citizens in the United States who aren't on a green card, who are not here on a visa, are most of them asylum seekers or are they economic migrants?
What percent of the people deported?
You're not going to answer that question because you know the answer.
Wait, no. What percent of the people deported have had criminal violations? It's only 30 to 40%.
Yeah.
So 60% of the people deported have no criminal violations. Guys,
They're not rounding up.
can I
just
test the
criminals.
audience? Can I test you guys?
Adam is smoking Knowles right now. He's completely correct. And Knowles knows that when it comes to asylum seekers, a lot of these people are, and hey, let me be very clear. There are people who skip their court date. That's never okay. That's why we got to streamline the asylum process, because it takes way too long because we don't have enough judges and we don't have enough resources. And we were supposed to, but MAGA stopped that bill from being put in place. We know what bill I'm talking about.
If somebody comes over here and seeks asylum, and what they try to do is build a better life, build a family, and they're working on a farm, do you guys think there should be a path to citizenship to become an American? That is the antithesis of what America stands for. You guys are anti-American then.
Yeah, you are.
You are anti-American.
Can you imagine going to a Nashville bar, talking to great patriots, and saying you're anti-American? That's the craziest thing
America
I've ever
was
heard.
built on.
They are anti-American. America, and one of the pivotal aspects of what America is, and something that was told for kids at the very least when I was young, is the pursuit of the American dream and people being able to come to America and make a life for themselves. These people don't care about that anymore. They care about only themselves. They're selfish pieces of shit. And I feel sorry for them that they sacrificed America's dream.
Off of immigrant.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't-
Adam, you can finish your point. Then we got some questions.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay, to the panel. Americans will work every single job. They just want to be paid a wage that's worth it and treated well. The only reason, let me talk. The only reason that we have illegal immigration and so much legal immigration is because the corporate lobby wants cheap labor and they can treat their workers like shit.
So I told the girl, I said, well, do me a favor, put the money.
I mean, I can agree to that, actually. I do think a lot of corporations do want cheaper labor, and I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay they circumvent paying people what they deserve. I do think wages should be higher. I do think that for sure. And I think there is a very worthwhile conversation that if wages were brought up, I mean, all right, I want to be very clear. When it comes to illegal immigrants that are working, some people or some like entities do it, like hire these people. For the most part, these illegal immigrants who are just can work a normal, very steady job just to support their family. That's just not like the norm for the most part. So I do want to meet these people where they're at. We do need to do something about wages. I'm 100% with you. I just don't think Donald Trump's administration cares about increasing wages at all. Like, I don't think that's their focus. I think they just want to paint illegal immigrants as the problems to all of America's issues, but that's not going to force businesses to affect their wages and hire other people. Donald Trump does not care about that. He is, and the MAGA administration has made no attempt to increase American workers' pay. If we had a conversation in like fixing the asylum process, making it not more difficult, but making it more secure at the border, add more judges for people to kind of get streamlined, as well as increase wages for people to get jobs, then sure. But at the same time, I still am very hesitant that Americans will do certain jobs versus others.
Reason is that Democrats want a permanent electoral majority.
Correct.
That's the other reason.
They want an electorate where they do not have to campaign. They don't need good ideas. They will just win every single election because of the people they imported.
That's funny.
So,
Okay, so I mean, I agreed with the wages part, and then he said something stupid, and then Michael Knowles played into it because Michael Knowles is an evil person. So, I mean, there's no evidence that they're doing that, and there's a lot of people who are Hispanic who voted for Trump. So, I mean, there's just nothing to prove this case about Democrats getting people to come in the country to affect their elections, even though illegal immigrants can't vote. It's just nonsense. But MAGA's nonsense.
No,
Latinos went red.
No,
Latinos went closer to being red this election. So
okay,
it's kind
but
of funny.
do you think that once
Exactly.
we deport everyone, that suddenly Congress is going to raise minimum wage?
It's not about the
they're
minimum
not.
wage. It's about labor
No, and
economics.
also usually
Wages go up when there are
blaming
less
the
people to do the
corporate
job.
men who are taking
Wages will go up when there's less
advantage
people
and
to do the
exploiting
job.
them.
That
Wages will go up when there's less people to do the job. Are you sure about that? They're trying to replace workers with AI. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? A lot of these companies have their businesses overseas too for very, very low wage labor too. Are you sure about that? I think people have this kind of misguided notion, and people need to realize that Donald Trump is also a very rich man, and he capitulates to billionaires more than any Democratic president ever.
guy is seriously vying for a VIP table spot.
No,
I
you-
wait.
No, I want to say something. No, I want to say
Am
one
I
more
gonna
thing.
go?
Okay, I want to say one more thing right now. So this whole mass deportation thing, first off, they're not going to raise minimum wage for you because everyone's
I'm not
fine.
asking you to do that.
And you
I'm
should-
not
the
asking you to do
corporate
that.
I think what he's saying is because
It's not
there-
about the minimum wage.
Right, because there are
But-
pressures on the labor market when you flood it with,
Correct.
local.
I'm a
So you should
contractor.
blame the
I'm a
men at the top
contractor.
who are hiring and exploiting them. That's
Because
why.
they're available. That's
Also,
the market.
this
That's
whole
the
mass
market.
deportation thing, just so everyone knows, it is all to fuel the racism in this country.
No, it's
when
not.
in reality,
No, it's not.
when in
No, it's not.
reality, stop. In reality, the only color that matters in this country is green. Are you green enough? And 99% of us are not. So you're not going to get a pass unless you can pay for it.
Yep. But yeah, but
Money.
But to our earlier point, if that were true though, Ceci, the illegal aliens are a drain on resources at the state
Yep.
and local
They're
level.
not.
So,
They're not. They're not.
according
Yeah, this is not true.
Yes, they are.
according
Yes,
to
they
the
are. They
CBO,
take more than they
they're
put
the
in.
National
They're
Budget
not.
Office.
Oh, the CBO that you guys
That's
don't
not
trust
true
and
either.
convenient for you?
But also according
Wait,
to
do
the
you trust
National
the
Academy
CBO
of
on the
Sciences.
big beautiful bill?
Well, I certainly trust it more than Adam Mockler. Do you believe the CBO or no?
Listen, if we enacted the mass deportation that Donald Trump wants, over the next decade, $900 billion would increase the deficit, 3.3% of
Who
our
pays for
GDP
their
would be hopped
insurance?
off. Okay, wait.
Who pays for their healthcare?
Wait, can I ask you a question?
I don't have insurance.
Can I ask you a question? Would you be okay with people being here, immigrating?
Illegal immigrants. This is just not a thing. This is not a thing. And this is just a terrible environment to have political discourse. Michael Knowles is relying on the rowdiness of these people because he knows if he actually got in a realistic political debate that's not something related to like Christianity, he would get blown the fuck out. Michael Knowles would get blown the fuck out in a real political debate. He knows this. We all know this. The only thing he's good at is culture war bullshit and talking about Christianity. That's it. That's why it's crazy when you start growing up, you realize a lot of these Republicans only debate people who are not on their level because they're really not as smart as people think they are. They just sound good. They're good entertainers.
Here.
Probably not. No.
Listen,
Probably not.
Can I ask you
Probably
what?
not.
so you're just un-American.
Wait, I just want to
So you're just un-American.
Wait, but
I
can
wasn't
I
born
just
here.
want to
I wasn't
ask
even
the
born here.
audience.
No,
You
I
were
don't.
born here,
No.
and you don't want people to immigrate here.
Because we have more than enough.
Yeah, we got more than
That's
enough.
more than enough.
You know what?
Are you-
This motherfucker wasn't even born here and he's complaining about immigrants. Get the fuck out of here, boy. Get the fuck out of here. This is the bullshit that I'm talking about. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. I I don't know how to reach these people. They're so far gone. I really have no idea how to reach these people. So, like, in terms of like appealing to MAGA, I've given up on that. There's no way you can. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. Even if Donald Trump was a pedophile, they would still support him. It doesn't matter anymore. So that's why I'm starting to look at like the more center right, and then I'm gonna have to extend my hand to the far left. And I don't like the far left. I don't like the center right either. I don't like a lot of political sides. I like my side. My side's a good side. And my side is purple.
Get out of my
gay
country.
people too?
It's my country
You weren't
too.
born here.
That doesn't matter.
Right? That's the
Wait,
mindset.
guys.
No, it's not. I want to do what's
I don't
best
see
for
any
the
That's the
country
contradiction
today
mindset,
now.
and you're not from here.
He's not born here, but he gets the claim to be American. But other people, I see what's wrong with them. I see what's wrong with them. I get it right here. I get it. I see what's wrong with them. I understand. I get it. Understand.
Here.
That's okay.
You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
I don't think it's hypocritical to come to a
It's
country
100%
and then say
hypocritical.
we
know,
should
That no one else is allowed after.
I don't really want this guy in my country. I don't know.
I do. I want to elect that
Nah, I
guy.
think
To,
you
I don't know,
gotta go.
Senate or something. I definitely want that.
You're
guy.
also a little brown.
Knowles is a piece of shit. I swear to God, he's such a bad person. Such a bad person.
You say he looks brown?
That's what they're doing. If you look the wrong skin color, if you have the wrong tattoos, they're just picking you up.
All right. Do we have
That's
another
it.
question back there?
Wait, I have a question. Are you guys okay with ICE racially profiling?
I think my frontal lobe developed when I realized I could eat whatever I want in a day and stay lean as long as I'm paying attention to my calorie intake. So this is everything that I eat in a day to stay lean for summer. First, I'm starting off with an almond milk latte. I'm not a huge breakfast person, but I try to get a little something in my stomach, so I'm just doing a hard-boiled egg, and this is what I do most days. And then I'll normally make a snack plate with these Bavarian meat sticks. These are absolutely delicious. They have zero
My diet, what I do is, because I've been on the weight loss journey, lost a good amount of weight, I would say. I wake up in the morning, then I go to the gym in the morning, then I bring my water, I put my electrolytes in the water, then I take this one. Maybe it helps with the reason why I'm not as hungry as often. So I take creatine, I take some fiber, and I take a green tea pill, which helps with like weight management. So I think that's what helps me not be as hungry. And then when I get home after I'm done working out, I'll also do some cardio in the morning, whether that's 4,000 steps or go play basketball for about an hour. And then when I come back, I have to obviously work. So I come back, drink a protein shake. So that's 2 scoops of protein, bananas, water, and peanut butter. That helps me down. And then I have like a pre-prep. You can go to like Walmart or Kroger. I go pre-prep meals from Kroger or Walmart, like those protein lean cuisine frozen meals. I have that for lunch. And usually I make sure it has more protein than fat in there, all that good stuff. And then I end up with my pre-prep meal that I cook in the weekends. This weekend I have protein mac, pork chops, and Brussels sprouts. So, and protein mac is just mac and cheese with a lot of protein. This one has like 14 grams of protein in it. So pretty good.
Illegals probably go for Jose, right?
That's not
I think.
what the racial
Is that racial
profiling they're
profiling?
doing?
Technically, that's probably
That's
racial
not what I'm
profiling.
talking about. You can go to
What
an
are you
extreme
talking about?
example.
I said you got a Norwegian and a Hispanic. You're picking up illegal
So
aliens.
you're
Who are
picking
you
the
gonna
white
look at?
person is what you're doing.
I would not pick the white person because
You
she
just said
didn't.
no.
She
You're
didn't come
hopping
here
to the most
illegally.
extreme example, but do you think you should be able to go somewhere and if there's a group of people speaking Spanish, you should be able to directly target them due to the Spanish that they're speaking,
Well,
due to the
speaking
race,
speaking
due to
Spanish
their
is not a
race.
race.
I'm just talking about the profiling.
Plenty
that
of
they
white
do.
people speak Spanish.
I'm
Even
talking
black
about
people do too.
They are
So that's not
profiling
race.
people
That's-
based on their language, their skin color, and things. That's what I'm saying. And are
Well,
you
hold
guys
on, that's different, Adam. That's a very important point. You're saying should we profile people based on strictly one criterion? And I would say probably not. That's probably broad brush.
But they think we should.
Hold on,
The audience thinks
hold on.
we should,
But
so you
what
disagree
if-
with your own
no,
audience.
No, you just said.
Wait, should we racial
hold on,
profile?
Hold on. But what you just said was race, speaking a foreign
That's what
language
they're doing.
in an enclave that's segregated from the mainstream community, speaking in their own way. Well, now you got like 5 different touch points. Yes.
No. You try to make it more nuanced, but nice try. They are looking at who you are and they are determining who you are as a legal immigrant. If you're just an Hispanic in any area, they're going to think that you're an illegal immigrant. That's what racial profiling is. You could try to make it seem like there's more nuance than it is. There's not. There's not. You could try to not seem like a piece of shit. You are, but nice try.
I would say Tom Homan, round him up.
Here's the problem. The Trump administration has admitted they have done illegal deportations. When they brought back Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia.
Kilmar Abrego, give me a break.
Wait.
This gangster from Maryland, the Democrat Senator Chris Van Hollen, love of his life.
Wait a minute. If he's a gangster, why did the Trump administration bring him back?
He's being prosecuted right now in the United States.
Why did they bring him back?
Because some two-bit federal judge made him do it, so now he's being prosecuted here.
Why would they agree if it was just Trump always disagrees with judges? Why would he bring him back?
Because Trump's not a tyrant like you people always say that he is. He follows the law, he listens to the courts, and he works within the system of laws. Okay, now...
Michael Knowles is so bad faith. He's so bad faith. He's so bad faith. It's so difficult. I just don't believe in these people anymore. Adam, honestly, when you deal with people like this, you can't let them dictate the conversation. They don't deserve the right to dictate the conversation because this is not a productive conversation. You got to just railroad them. You got to steamroll Michael Knowles.
Who was the VIP in that round? Do we even have to ask? Is that our future senator, Mr. Not Born Here American? Where's he? Where's he at? Sir, you get to go to the VIP table. Great to see you. Paolo, that's a good name. Is that Italian? All right, now that's...
Get him out of our country. Get him out of our country.
Yeah.
Anti-Italian discrimination. Okay, now, folks, Ceci, would you like to go first?
Okay, so my top topic is Trump is using national emergencies to distract from the Epstein files because he's in them.
Okay, does that do it for you? That's okay. All right, Adam.
How about this one? Trump's tariffs have been an unmitigated disaster. They have been a disaster. Boo the tariffs,
Boo.
I kind of like that
tariffs.
topic because it's so wrong. Okay, my topic is it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Gay marriage is really bad for kids. Is that what? All right, wow, all right.
Michael, you won. We're going to do Adam and Steve first.
Wow, man, 2003 slogans.
Knowles is really just evil. This is such a terrible format. This is worse than anything Jubilee could come up with. You're relying on some drunk idiots to determine political topics to talk about. And now Michael Knowles is going to argue that gay marriage shouldn't exist. Based.
Still crushing in 2025. Love it. Okay, let's get into it. It seems to me there's no such thing as gay marriage. There's nothing against guys who are a little light in the loafers. I lived in New York and LA. I went
I don't even think this is worth watching the rest of it. Bonus round Trump's tariffs. Let's watch this.
The new Monster Menu is now at Burger King. Try it today.
Vistaprint prints everything to get your brand in front of your fans, like t-shirts, water bottles, and totes, so everyone can gift it, work.
Should they choose?
I want them to choose.
Say that they want tariffs. They want tariffs.
Let's do tariffs.
Oh, let's do tariffs.
All right, there we go. We're doing tariffs. What's your point?
I can start off with a lot of points, but I guess I just want to start off with a question. Is that fair?
Yes.
When do you think Liberation Day tariffs went into effect?
Well, it was a process, and they're still going into effect now. But they began in April of this year.
The announcement happened in April of this year, but Trump does this weird thing where he makes tariff announcements, but he doesn't actually enact them for like 2 weeks to 90 days. And I think we can all agree with this fundamental idea that Trump's tariffs have been confusing. Trump's tariffs have been pushed back over and over, but the reality is the Liberation Day tariffs, the most radical tariffs that he announced, didn't go into effect till August 7th because he put in a 90-day delay. August 7th was 14 days ago. So you guys are going to rest your whole claim on the fact that tariffs haven't caused inflation, but the tariffs just went into effect. But I also want to point out the fact that Trump's tariffs have no rhyme or reason. If you want to argue that we have trade imbalances in America, I wouldn't disagree. But that is not what Trump was remedying. How is remedying trade imbalances putting tariffs indiscriminately on every single country? Do you know what country has the highest tariffs right now?
Is it like Mauritius or something
it's
crazy?
Brazil, but not even to rebalance trade because of Bolsonaro was being targeted. So what I'm making my point here is that Trump's tariffs have not been to intentionally or targeted help the economy. What they have been doing is a lever for him to, help Bolsonaro, to use corruption, a lever that has not helped the American people. Tariffs are inherently inflationary, which you'll agree. Tariffs are inflationary.
Not necessarily.
Well,
it can be, but they're not necessarily.
Who pays for it, right? It goes down to the consumer.
They largely are inflationary because at Customs and Border Patrol, that is when it's collected by American companies. So I just want to wrap this up. I think that Trump's tariff policy has been an unmitigated disaster. It has been awful. And
how has it, so I agree with your points that that's confusing. I think that was intentional. I agree with your points that some of the measures for implementing them seem arbitrary. I also think that was intentional and effective. But I guess my question is, let's get specific here. You say they've been a disaster. By what economic measures have they been
There's
disasters?
a few. PPI just came out and showed that vegetables are up by 38% over the past month.
Why do you think PPI went up?
Why do you think PPI went up? There's a few reasons. It could be tariffs.
PPI
it could be weather. PPI is the producer price index, which is how producers are counting what things cost and what they're selling to people. But overall,
why did it go up?
Vegetables went up 38%, a combination of weather and tariffs.
Weather and tariffs. Is there maybe a third possibility that's correlated with PPI going up? The fact that we just hit the highest stock market ever recorded in the month of August, which is correlated with higher PPI.
You want to know why we hit the highest stock market?
I don't even care why we did. I'm just pointing out that's why PPI went up.
No, you can claim the highest stock market is impressive, but you know what's impressive to me? Trump took office and crashed the stock market on Liberation Day, and it didn't recover until he reversed the tariffs. So the only reason the market is up...
He's arguing that the PPI went up because of the stock market.
The tariffs. You just said the tariffs are being implemented right now.
He put a 90-day pause. Let me finish. He put a 90-day pause, which confused people to such an extent that nobody believes him. The stock market is hitting all-time highs at 7 months into his presidency, which is not impressive. It was
as the tariffs are being implemented, as you just admitted.
Because nobody believes him anymore. Not a single person believes that Donald Trump is imposing tariffs, that they will start. You didn't even know when they started. The guy who was saying I didn't know research.
I told you they were being implemented successively, and they began in April. I gave you the precise answer.
Did you say August 7th?
No, but
you did not say
they
August
began
7th.
To be implemented within weeks of the Liberation Day announcement in April.
You agree with my fundamental axiom that tariffs have been confusing? Have they yielded any results?
Yes.
What?
Okay, well, here are the results. Because there are three things that tariffs can do. Tariffs can raise revenue, tariffs can get you better trade deals, and tariffs can boost manufacturing.
All of those things are contradictory.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is what's so amazing. Because you make such a great point, Adam. If you get the better trade deals, usually you don't get the revenue, you don't get the manufacturing. If you get the manufacturing...
All right, Michael Knowles is about to play some voodoo magic on some bullshit. So the producer price index, this is an article I found in the CBS News. People could check it out. If they have a more direct primary source, I'll try to find that. Surged last month, far outpacing economists' forecasts suggest that tariffs are starting to significantly drive up the cost of imported goods. Also, inflation rose 0.9% in July. This was in August 14, 2025, by the way. The labor department said Thursday, outstripping economists' expectation for a 0.2% increase. The jump marks the largest in more than 3 years. PPI, which measures price changes before they reach consumers, suggests cost hikes are on the way for shoppers. Economists say so far in 2025, consumer prices have been slow to rise despite economists' warnings that Mr. Trump's wide-ranging tariff agenda would hike costs for both U.S. businesses and consumers. That's partly because some importers took steps to offset the impact by pre-ordering inventory and absorbing some tariffs to shield consumers in the short term. So, yeah, a lot of corporations knew that the tariffs were going to cause all these problems, so they bought a lot of bulk, but this is just prologuing kind of like the inevitable. So that's what we're kind of waiting when like the tariffs really start impacting people, and that's when things will get really, really bad. Those were stop getting economists have warned the latest bill underscores the higher price of regulation through the economists, indicating that the willingness and ability of businesses to absorb tariffs. Cost may be warning. So this is what Oxford economist said. Of course, MAGA doesn't care about anybody that doesn't disagree with them. It's a very broader sense of tariff-driven inflation data over time. Your report comes 2 days after last was slightly clued in new tariffs that continue to generate cost pressure and supply chain, which consumers will shoulder soon. So for the most part, nothing about the stock market. A lot of economists are saying that it's due to the tariffs. So I don't know where he's getting the stock market from. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where that's coming from.
Usually you don't get the trade, you don't get the revenue because it's not coming in. Right. Now what's so strange about Trump's tariffs is that we have raised a lot of revenue, $100 billion since April.
Wait, why is the deficit still increasing at a massive rate? What the hell?
The budget deficit?
Yeah.
Well, because we're only, as you point out, like 2 months into the tariffs.
No, but Trump claims that he's raised $3 trillion or something.
Don't distract.
Okay, go for it.
$100 billion in tariffs. That is more than twice. That's 2.5.
Nah, fuck Knowles. Keep talking, Adam. You can't play nice with these guys anymore. They do not deserve that. The only one I would play nice with is Ben Shapiro, honestly, legitimately. Other than that, all these others people can go fuck themselves. Maybe Candace Owens, because I think Candace Owens at the very least is a willing conversationalist, even though some of her ideas are insane. But nah, Knowles can really just go fuck himself. No cap. No cap, Kizzy.
Yeah. Well, because it's not coming in. Right. Now, here are the results. Because there are three things that tariffs can do. Tariffs can raise revenue, tariffs can get you better trade deals, and tariffs can boost manufacturing.
All of those things are contradictory.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is what's so amazing. Because you make such a great point, Adam. If you get the better trade deals, usually you don't get the revenue, you don't get the manufacturing. If you get the manufacturing, usually you don't get the trade. You don't get the revenue because it's not coming in. Right. Now, what's so strange about Trump's tariffs is that we have raised a lot of revenue, $100 billion since April.
Wait, why is the deficit still increasing at a massive rate? What the hell?
The budget deficit?
Yeah.
Well, because we're only, as you point out, like 2 months into the tariffs.
No, Trump claims that he's raised $3 trillion or something.
Don't distract.
Right?
Don't distract.
Okay, go for it.
$100 billion.
The deficit still increasing at a massive rate. What the hell?
The budget deficit?
Yeah.
Well, because we're only, as you point out, like 2 months into the tariffs.
No, Trump claims that he's raised $3 trillion or something.
Don't distract.
Right?
Don't distract.
Okay, go for it.
$100 billion in tariffs. That is more than twice. That's 2.5 times the historic average. So we are raising revenue at a huge clip. Then
we're raising revenue in a huge clip. I mean, that revenue is coming from the corporations. White for one day was the first thing you're doing. Nothing. I don't really care about being white. I'm trying to think. Bro, my tackle just will not block. I'm trying to think of what they're talking about. He's saying we're just whatchamacallit in, so that's why that hasn't affected the budget deficit. I mean, the tariffs will not offset the budget deficit regardless. Like, what? That's just not a correct claim to make. And then he also talked about how historic revenue. I mean, this is historic tariffs. This revenue that it's bringing in is like, sure, it's bringing in revenue, but we're also losing a lot as well. And a lot of companies and businesses are not able to pay for the huge tariff increase. A lot of smaller businesses are struggling to import a lot of goods, and they have to shut down from it because of the huge amount of tariffs. So, it's bringing in money, sure, but a lot of businesses are being negatively affected to the point where they have to shut down. But I don't think Donald Trump cares about the small businesses, right? He only cares about the big corporations.
manufacturing activity is at a 3-year high.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
It is at a 3-year high.
By this point in Biden's presidency, we had added 200,000 manufacturing jobs. We've lost 28,000 since Trump took office.
Manufacturing activity today, August 2025.
Nope.
Is that it is? I mean, I don't know. Look it up in the.
Look it up. Manufacturing is dropped.
It's at a 3-year high. So that means that it's signaling you're getting further growth. But the craziest thing is the trade deals have been insane. We just closed a deal with the European Union. We tariff their goods. They basically don't tariff our goods, and they're investing $600 billion in the country. So Trump managed to get all three objectives of tariffs simultaneously. And
none of these deals have been finalized, and he's completely misconstruing the trade deals. All right, manufacturing activity. All right, what is?
And the economy is an all-time high, and employment is full. There is no economic indicator that has gone down under Trump. It's all at highs.
But I noticed that all the time the market is.
Adam, you're just letting him talk. He's just full of shit. You got see this is why I want Adam to be a little bit more aggressive, because like Knowles just be lying. The MAGA strategy is just a lie. So manufacturing activity, I don't know what he's referring to there. That might be as like fake as his statistic about a third of immigrants documented immigrants causing 1/3 of the crime. That was just a fake statistic. So he just might have made this up as well. Manufacturing is at an all-time low, and it is struggling. Not all-time low, but it is struggling because of how many manufacturing jobs that are being lost. So I don't know what he's referring to when it comes to manufacturing activity. When it comes to inflation, we're struggling. When it comes to prices, we're struggling. When it comes to the dollar, that has been going down at an all-time low. A lot of our allies are starting to look other places for oh my God, I didn't catch that. For trade deals and getting more relationship internationally between that. We're losing a lot of our relationships with our international allies, and they're doing a lot of trading amongst themselves, and there's more trading activity amongst our enemies as well, which is also not good. So there's a lot of economic indicators that we're not thriving as much as he's saying. I don't know.
Brought up when in reality, the average American, sometimes the stock market isn't what affects them. Like, not everyone's playing into the market. The average American.
Can I ask you a question, Michael?
I mean, the average American is not like
most Americans have retirement accounts and pensions and that sort of thing.
But
so in that way, they
I want to be fair and reply to your EU point in just 1 second, but I want to.
That's not true. Most Americans do not. Oh, retirement accounts. Retirement accounts is like, it's easy to create an IRA. Most Americans do not have pensions. That's just not true. As for the claim about the stock market, using the stock market as an indicator is so fallacious, especially since it's so volatile. And the people that it's really helping is the rich business owners that Donald Trump cares about.
Ask you the question: when you cite this $100 billion raised, who is that raised from exactly?
It's raised from the countries that were tariffing.
That is not true. So when you're saying goods are coming over the border, Customs and Border Protections is taxing the other country.
Yes.
That is not how it works.
It is only I'm a cigar manufacturer who makes my product in Nicaragua. I know a lot about tariffs and how they
Michael Knowles doesn't know jack shit about tariffs then.
work. And unfortunately for my industry, there's an 18% tariff in Nicaragua, but it's okay. I mean, listen, I'm willing to eat it because we have a very successful
Wait a minute,
product called
you just said
Mayflower.
Nicaragua was eating the cost, or you implied that other countries were eating the cost when it hit CPP.
Oh,
or you're eating the cost.
No, are you asking me if a manufacturer in another country has to bear that cost? Yes, of course.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's a manufacturer in the other country, which in the case of premium cigars is outside the United States.
But you're eating the cost.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but not everyone's going to eat that cost. A lot of it is going to go down to the consumer.
I know, that's why you got to go to good companies like Mayflower.
No,
okay,
the
folks,
entire
this
point.
is the last chance. This is your last chance.
See, like, Michael Knowles is an evil piece of shit. That's why he just once he starts getting railroaded, he wanted to change the topic. I think Adam held his own. I think the only problem with Adam here, even though he completely obliterated Knowles, I'm not going to watch the entire thing because this was very painful to watch. But my only issue with Knowles or Adam is he was too nice. I don't think at this point there's any worthwhile to kind of treat them as equals. If they want to lie, bring up your statistics and just railroad them. Go over. Now, of course, it's not always going to work, but you got to play aggressive. And I just don't know what MAGA is willing to have a good conversation other than maybe Ben Shapiro, except when you're talking about Israel. I don't think Ben Shapiro will play nice when it comes to Israel because he's Jewish, which, fair enough. But yeah, that's all. That's all I got for there. Hope you guys enjoyed. You have a good one. Take care and peace.